this is Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery, and what am I doing today? Today I am going to make a masterboard or possibly a rolling pages. I haven't really decided, but I wanted to show you first. I bound 3 journals this week, and I'm just going to show them to you quickly. And this is a personal journal that I made, and this will be coming out slowly over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start posting work on this journal on Thursdays, so you will see this again and again, but I need to cover, put a cover on here and probably decorate the front and the back with something. I don't know. I'll probably do some sort of collage and just paste paper. And this is paper cover with fabric and beads. Like, look at that. I'm so happy with the way this came out, and it has 6 signatures, and this is my Maximal mini journal. I want to just super decorate this, and I have started. I have this ugly bag of things that I'm pulling aside that I think will go nicely in here, and I want to really fill this with like inspirational quotes and things. And it has, I think, 120 pages is where I decided. And so look for this. I'm excited, and I will decorate that whole thing right here, and you'll see that coming. And I made this writing journal, and it has this Kayoku paper, and I love this fabric, and it's fabric covered journal. It's got a Coptic stitch binding, and it's just a blank book. And the idea was to put this up on my Etsy shop. It is not as perfect as I would like for the binding to be. These pages don't quite line up the way that I wanted them to. But this is a beautiful book. Regardless, it's not quite right. I will have to look into this, do a little more work on it, a little more research, add it to my pile of, I'm making these writing journals. This is kind of the same. It's got yellow pages. Beautiful, beautiful, just writing journals. Very unique and different. So there's that. And this I'm definitely going to put up in my Etsy shop. And this is, again, a blank book that I bound. And I will put the, how I made the cover for this up. But I wanted to show you this because I finished this, and it is just absolutely, I'm so happy with just the way this came out. And it has legal size sheets that are folded in half, so this has got a huge amount of space in it, and it's got that fabric again. Beautiful, beautiful book. Look for me when I was binding this, but these pages are just, look at how much space there is here. And I just used white copy paper really for this book, and I'm just ecstatic about how this came out and how beautiful it is. I guess this is the right layout, but it was upside down. Anyway, based on how this, look at this, I mean, just, it looks so good. Okay, so I want to show you those because I'm super excited about those. And let's get started today. So I just pulled out, I have this box of random scraps and things that I have not bothered to put away. And I got some of these decoupage papers, and I think I'm gonna kind of start to tear them up and use them for making masterboards. And they just have really beautiful colors. And I pulled out 2 to use, and we can open them up. I got these kind of second hand. I didn't get these new, so I picked them up. I did not have a specific project for them. I do a lot of collage, so I figured they would be useful. And these are big sheets of paper, and it's kind of a tissue paper. And I think these will be fun to work with. These might be fun to just put down on a page for interest. and to kind of start some background. So, anyway, next week I want to spend the entire week doing ephemera, and I'm going to make tags and labels and all kinds of things. I'm going to get out the die cutter and do some of those that way. So I'm excited about that. I want something a little bit... I wonder if I have more of this. I don't know where this book went. I feel like I must have it somewhere. I'm just going to go with this. So for Masterboards, I am not. This is not what I usually use for a Masterboard. I'm going to go back to my tried and true stuff. And the reason I'm not going to use this is because this is so brittle. It kind of just, it's too old and too brittle. And it doesn't really work all that well. And this book I have been using to make Masterboards as the base pages. And I'm trying to find the middle. There it is. And just see if I can't pull this book apart and keep it where it's still tied together. And I have all kinds of scraps and things. And so for doing a Masterboard, I'm just going to take these pages as a base and use them. This would be fun to tear up for collage because it's kind of already in this foam form. I'm going to pull that out too and maybe tear that up and add it back onto the pages. So I have these bases. I'm going to get rid of my box of book pages. This is what I have to pull from for book pages. I'm going to put this over there. And so basically I have all of these things, and these are not super interesting. These are just really, mostly I was pulling strips. I have all these strips of various things. This is obviously a printout from probably off of my phone screenshot. Which I think is terribly interesting. I might save this actually and put this somewhere in my no vintage, no problem journal. I really need to. What I realized this morning as I was pulling things out, I need to do something about this scrap box, which contains not only scraps, it contains all kinds of stuff. But I need to, like I said, find something to do with that. Let's set that aside as, this was the one we were setting aside as something interesting. This is kind of like a who's who's book of writers. Milton and Molière with us here today. Monet. Claude Monet. He's a, yes, who's who of the art world. I look like I am fresh out of glue. Oh dear. How did that happen? That won't do. That's the empty one. I was saving that for important reasons. Okay. So I'm just going to go down here and make a Masterboard. And we'll see how far we get with this, because, you know, I have really no rhyme or reason here today, other than to sit here and play and do something different. So I have done rolling pages. Rolling pages is a thing Bitty Penny, who is another YouTube channel, and she had a way of making, just putting book page together. And what I generally do for this is I just make a long strip of this and use this and then cut it up, and you can make tags and you can make all kinds of different things. So I'm just gluing these book pages together for the base of this. Let's see if I can not put that poem style in here just yet. I will, no doubt, but anyway, now you're going to collage on top of this. That's the plan. We're just going to go back and collage on top of this, and I usually do 3 or 4 together, and it just gives you this like big piece of paper that you can use to collage on. And I'm going to put my scraps down on top of here. And again, a lot of these are just boring scraps. You can use more interesting things. These are avocado dyed paper. This is going to be a fairly neutral looking thing. And you can use these, you can cut them up, you can use them to cover books. Again, I've shown you this before as a Masterboard that I made before. And I've put all kinds of different magazine clippings and text blocks and music paper and a date due card that I got out of an old book and a picture from Charlotte's Web. And then I stitched across the top of it. Oh, that would be fun. Maybe we'll get the sewing machine out and do that. I don't know. Anyway, I started this with the idea. So I'm just going to start putting these scraps down, and I will probably pull out some more things here shortly when I get bored of doing all these scraps. But I do, this is a good way to use up both your book pages and your box of scraps. I am going to write myself a note to sort through and organize that box that I am using. I have a box and I have a bag, and for scraps, and you will see me trying to use up my scraps a lot. And that is one of the wonderful things about the junk journal, is that we don't throw, we save all these things so that they are not going to go in the trash, right? And we can use them again, and I'm constantly trying to then find ways to use up my scraps. So this uses up book pages, and it's using up my scraps. And I want to get my little ruler out here so that I have a tearing edge. There we go. And this already has glue on it. I'm just going to put that down there. Ooh, I'm already glued to everything on my desk. This is from the watercolor bookmarks I did the other day. So this is a little bit of book page off the edge where I had taken book pages and did watercolor splatter on top of them. So there's a little bit of watercolor splatter on here. It's going to pick up that pink really nice. There we go. And I'm just going to cover this up. We'll put a piece here. And when you're doing this, what am I doing? I'm just going to put that whole thing down there. I'm not going to tear these up too much. I might just overlap them. Overlapping is good because we can get more mileage. This is going to make a nice, strong, thick paper with a couple of different layers. I might just start in this corner and work my way up and over and all around with what I have. And so once I have this, you don't have to cover all of the text. You really don't. You can do this. Put that there. Ah, yes, okay. We're gonna get a method going here. I'm not quite ready for this. Here's a piece. That's an interesting piece. Let's get some background going first. And just fill this in, I think, with some of these strips over here. And we don't have to keep doing the same thing. We can change it up any way we want. One of these was like a torn edge, and I'm going to put that on the inside to cause me This is a nice relaxing activity that you can do because we don't have to think about it too hard, hopefully. And it's just some gluing and some fun. I realize that my scraps here today are kind of boring to begin with. Not boring. Neutral background. Neutral background here. We're building a neutral background where anything is going to be possible as we go along. And we're creating something that's going to become something else. I should do this once a week. I feel like that would be good if I just kept my scraps. I have this idea. I don't know if this will work or not. I guess it depends on how prolific I am in the scrap creation. But as you can see, I've been going along and not using up my scraps, so I have just... This must have been from a journal that I made, and I think I had to tear down some paper to make signatures for a book, is what I'm thinking. And so I have all this beautiful paper that I've hand dyed, and now I am, or in the case of my watercolor paper, you know, using up the scraps. Use everything. I am apparently not in too much of a talkative mood here today, so we will see how that goes. It's Friday. I have used up all of my words. Maybe, finally, ready to just not talk for a while. So I am excited about the Maximal Mini Journal, and I am going to, okay, maybe I should be doing this as a live. I could definitely use some input. So I'm going to ask you for input. I am doing this Maximal Mini Journal, and I think it has 120 pages, so that would be 60 spreads. And I'm going to put an inspirational quote on each page. So I need to start collecting quotes. So do you guys keep an inspirational quote journal? Where do you get your inspirational quotes? I mean, the thing is like, I find if you're on Facebook, and maybe I haven't seen this too much recently, but people post these things, or at some point people were posting quotes, and maybe this was a long time ago. And if you see them, it just almost looks like sometimes people are searching for something, and they just keep posting and posting and posting, you know, oh, well, this sounds smart, or this sounds pithy, or this sounds whatever, and I'm going to put this, and oh, yes, this is definitely true. But also, I feel like a lot of the time, if you just skip from one to the next, you don't really have any time to make it, like, mean something in your life or live by that. And maybe that's just kind of the, you know, sign of the times we live in, is that everything just kind of comes to us very, very quickly and fast. And oh, this is prettier on the other side. Look at that. This is from an art journal like Somerset magazine. Super expensive magazine. And I have some used copies of it, and I've torn it up to use as collage, because this is other people's art journaling magazine, and they have some beautiful, beautiful things. I'm going to have to do something with this and maybe add some stuff, but we can do that after we do this part. I like doing the backgrounds. I do a lot of making the backgrounds, and this is really what this activity is right here today. This is making a background that's going to require something to be added to this. I would call this, what I'm doing right now, kind of almost like paper quilting. Much easier than actual quilting. Just checking to see if maybe I have these bicycle images that I have stamped. I might put that on there somewhere. If I found my ruler, I could tear this out. I guess I don't need the ruler. Where did I put it? Did you guys see where I put the ruler? Feel like. There we go. Anyway, so I stamped these images. I was not super happy with them, but now it can find a home here. Oh, so I was saying, to get to my point slowly, is I need some inspirational quotes for my beaded journal. So, and I need quite a few of them, and I'm going to start collecting them. But I was going to ask you to, if you want to drop one in the comments for me that you would like to see make it into the beaded Maximal mini journal book of inspirations. Feel free to put that down there, and I will try to use it. And that also depends on, I guess, when you're watching this, because obviously if that journal is already done, I will have to continue to have one of these. Maybe I'll have a series of inspirational journals. I just like the size because it's like a small size, and I think it'll work well to having short bursts of wisdom in a slow kind of way. Maybe we put one in per week and we work on this book. Oh, wait. 2 per week? Ha! I don't know. We'll have to see. Look at how pretty this one came out. It's got all these like little... I wonder if I did salt or something on this to make it like that. I have no idea, honestly. But this is a definitely very fun scrap. It's very crunchy too. And wrinkly at the edges. Let's see if we can like lay it down flat on here. Just filling in. This one I think I am going to rip off and not overlap it too much. Just because this one is kind of very pretty. I want to spread it around a little bit. I guess I could have put it on something else so I don't have to cover it up on anywhere. That's kind of the thing with this. So you can use stamped images, magazine images. I've definitely done lots of different things with this. I am how much of this scrap do I have? I mean, obviously I have a boatload because I have used this before. A lot of this before when I was making the tags video. Yeah, another thing you could do is just kind of use up your scraps every day. That might be something I start doing. I might just have some book pages, and at the end of the day when I'm done, I might just have like something like this, and I can glue down all my bits right there and start the process a little bit faster here and not have quite so many. I have like a bag and a box of scraps. Oh, there's the bag of scraps. Good. I'm gonna grab that in a minute once I get this kind of filled in. All right. So I've shown you, I have another video where I took like all these scraps and I did strips onto some product tags that I had. So you may have seen that if you watch my show. If you watch my channel, you may have seen that, where I'm doing basically the same thing onto little bitty tags, which is fun. Oh, that fit nicely right there. This is just adding a little bit of like texture and layer and whatnot and background. Woo. This is the lesson I'm learning, is to not save up for quite so long from all my projects, right? But having said that, I mean, I did this like 2 weeks ago, this book pages thing, so that just means I'm very not deep into my scraps. Quite yet. This does feel very much like making quilt out of a scrappy quilt to me today. Ooh, some of these have better sides. It's kind of a shame when I rip this up to fit into this smaller journal. I feel like I left some of the nicer bits and more interesting pieces. Skinny guy. Skinny guy, skinny guy, skinny guy. Okay. What do you guys think? My goodness. The pile is not dwindling. Maybe don't look over there. Don't look at my pile of scraps. Don't judge me. Okay. This is one of the things that really appeals to me about junk journaling, is that you can use things that might have otherwise been just thrown away, and now we're finding a purpose for them and a new life. And you take something, rescue it, bring it back, give it a new life, make it something beautiful and something worthwhile. Or, and it's also kind of freeing because, you know, it's just scraps of paper, and we can play and we can be creative, and at the end of the day, we don't like it. I mean, you know, that's okay. You can either keep going with it, and I recommend kind of keeping going with it, because, you know, there's often an ugly stage when you're doing art where you're kind of like, I don't know about this, and then you have to start thinking about, like, well, what do I not like about it, and how am I going to change it? And that is a very rewarding thing. It's very rewarding. So we have this, it's mostly pink, it has a little bit of color. We have one image, and I'm going to fill this in, and then I might come back and put some more interesting pieces over the top of this. Just kind of go to where we're at. Maybe should we keep going, or should we, let's go back and look at this and see what we might want to do with this. I'm going to fill in this one little blast piece. And then I'm going to go grab the other pile of stuff, and I already pulled out a few things, and see where that might take us, because I want to try something new here. And not just be doing the same old thing that we've been doing. And I'm probably going to continue and try and do this. I mean, I might just keep make this kind of a daily task to clean up I like that idea, and just kind of have this rolling page of going along, filling in, putting down my scraps as I go along. Alright, so we have that, and we can stop here and look at what we have, and I think that this is kind of pretty, and it's kind of, let me put it up here so you can kind of appreciate the background of this. And now we can put down some other things, and some washi tape, and some things like that, and of course you could keep going, obviously, and obviously, and my art is now being, my creative ideas and stuff is now being dictated by, this is the kind of scraps that I have, this is the kind of stuff that I've already worked with. So for one, we can use some of these bits and pieces of this text and put this as the same text, right? Now I've changed it. I'm going to add this back, and I'm just going to tear out these poems. And put this, because we like that. Since we already have it, I'll do that. And now I made more scraps. See, this is what I'm saying. I'll put those back over there. Using up the scraps. We're using up the scraps. We're making a lot more scraps while we do this. And these text blocks are also really kind of cool to use. And this is how you make the scraps. Is by doing this. These are great collage pieces. These are great collage pieces. All of this is great collage. So we have, you know, this and that and this and that. And one of these had something on the back. It's gone. That's fine. We don't have to worry about it because we have plenty. Bits and pieces of interesting words. And that one's now torn, and that's okay. I will probably, anything that I make today, try and use next week when I'm doing ephemera. And making ephemera and tags and belly bands and all kinds of things can be made out of this. Pockets, tucks, journal cards. And there's what I want to do is I'm going to grab some inks over here. From the stack. Let's do speckled egg maybe. I think I have some pink. I know I have some pink somewhere, and that's kind of what I'm searching for. And I should organize these so I can tell what color they are. Since I have a pile, I dropped the lid. Okay, since I have a pile, what is that? Okay. Kitsch Flamingo. We will see. Do you think that that will work with this? I don't know. You can use brown. I'm going to use some color because I am about neutraled out. I don't know what pink this was that's picking up so much. On there, it has to be the oxide, I think. I know I have oxide on my distress ink. There you go. That can go there. And I hear what you're saying. You're saying, I dare you to do something very bold, very bold. I think that looks good, and you don't have to keep them that way. You can put that way, and that will be absolutely fine. maybe I should get a new dauber. It's not like I don't have a ton of them over here. Let's try and not mix our oxides and our... Maybe I should get a separate one. Ooh, that's very wet. Nice. Oh my gosh. Usually my ink pads are not this juicy, but this one is very juicy. I kind of like that a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. Look. Look, look, look. Oh. Anyway, I need a better camera. So I am going to stick these down kind of randomly where I think things are too boring. And then I'm going to go get some funner things. I'm going to get out some images out of my stash. Okay. And we'll find some things. Because I have plenty of things. I don't have to just use these fairly boring things. We'll see what's in the... We will see. We will see when I pull out the basket of wonderful things. And we'll fill in, we'll fill in, we'll fill in, and fill in and fill in and fill in. I am probably going to finish some more of this off camera. I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing and not make it too long and boring for you. What kind of scraps are in your basket? I would love to see. I am still working on getting the Facebook page up. So you can share your own images. I'm sure I will get that done someday. But something has happened to my Facebook because I tried to start a second Facebook and now it's not happy with either of my Facebooks. And I've kind of been kicked off, and I think it's a thing on my phone. Where it's telling me I can't log into 2 Facebooks on my phone, but I need to sit down and figure that out. I just don't. I mean, I could be playing not on Facebook. I could be here doing this. But I do want to kind of upload some shorts to Facebook, so there's also that. So I should get motivated and find some time to do that. Or ask my IT guy to help me and run my Facebook. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing to do. Ask for help. I like that idea. I think that this is looking good, and I think, as I was saying, we can now find some more colorful images or something. I'm sure that I have a whole basket of goodies. And let's go see what's in there. Let's get a little bit more room since I'm talking about pulling out more. Oh wait, I found this die-cut leaf. How about we stick that on there? What do you think? This is like a die-cut leaf. Is a little bit. This is how I show you it's cardstock. Flick it. Let's put that on there. This is going to be very nice and thick. If we start doing this, this needs. I have this green right here. What do you think might already be on here? Anything? Anything? When was the last time we used this? Aha! Look at that. It's still going. I don't even need that. I can just grab my daughters. Who'd have thought? What if we put some blue on there too? What if? Let's put some blue on here. It is overcast today, and it is hot and muggy. That is the weather report from, Memphis. hot and muggy. And I'm just going to kind of go over the top of this like this. And I am going to add a little bit of blue and just see what that looks like, because I really like the blue. And I think it might add a little bit more color and dimension. I don't need to hit every place for sure, but I think that that makes it a little more interesting. For sure I'm like going to put it everywhere. Filling in, filling in, filling in. So these are just things off my desk so far. I have the die cut for this. I'm going to play with die cuts next week. I have a very small, tiny, inexpensive die cut machine. So look forward to that. But I did get some tags and some labels, and I'm excited about the labels especially. And making tags, I think, will be fun. And I'm looking at this leaf, and I think this would be, I just got a good idea for the leaf. To do something really fun with this leaf. Die. But for that leaf is right there. But wouldn't it be cool if you like just punched a hole and like layered a couple of them together? With a jump ring and then put them on a... I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Okay. I don't have to wait. I can sit here and plan on doing something. Okay, I'm gonna grab and just decorate the heck out of this because I want to play with my things. We're back to this. Let us grab our box of many things. This is all kinds of stuff. I like these. These are just, these are good for this because it's a piece of vellum and it's just printed and it's small and it's a thing that I bought and I'm going to use it and put it over here, and I like how it goes with our strips and whatnot, and so I'm just going to put that down as kind of an edge to this. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down. And there's a couple of different ones. Why not use a couple of different ones since we have them out already, because the other one goes in a different direction I can already see, which is going to be great. Okay, so that's down, and this is great because you can obviously see through the vellum, and it's just going to add a little bit of something. I might grab some stamps. I still see I have my dragonfly stamp over here, and a turtle, which I don't think really goes with this, but just things that I have over there that for use. And I already have the inks out, so why not go for that? So I'm going to grab this one, which is a little bit different. I have all these different ones. Some of these are white, which that is very subtle if you do the white ones. Anyway, pretty little butterfly vellum tapes, and obviously, I mean, there's plenty to choose from here. I'm just going to use 2 here and there. To add a little more fun and excitement just right at the get-go. I don't have these in any particular order. I am seeing that I do have some planet stuff, and I have some planet backgrounds, and I might kind of go and find those things and put them together so that maybe I could play around with doing a planet themed journal, because I have some like vintage kind of sci-fi looking papers that are really pretty. And that would be a really fun journal to make. And since I have all those background papers, I think these are Tim Holtz. And there's some bugs in here and butterflies, and we've already gone there. Those are the planet things. These are some other little sticker things. I'm already going in a specific direction with this. So let's just pull out a few things that might kind of go along with, I think we're kind of going in a butterfly and flower direction. I think this is a very random bits and bobs. And really just kind of some more scrappy kind of things. You can put this down. All right. I'm gonna save maybe these for doing something more further along. Further along in the sense of I would use those more for like decorating this after I've cut it up. Right now I'm kind of looking more like for background kind of items. Things that can fill in and make this a little more interesting. These are like a torn up map. This is, I think, a DigiKit. Do I have room for this? I mean, I can make room. I don't think it's too big. I can tear it up a little bit more. It's already torn. And put this down. Old world map. Not super butterfly. I guess butterflies happen all over the world, and they have for a long time. I'm gonna put this up in this corner, and I'm just gonna use whatever I want of it. There we go. That looks good. Okay, maybe something for right here. This bag of things, what are these things? These are just some things. These are kind of pretty, and these would make very nice backgrounds. These are just like really thin, I don't know if there's anything smaller in here. I like how this goes with the pink. So, let's put that on there. But these are, I think I got these off of like Temu as pack. They're already kind of collaged, so fairly interesting. They're all different sizes. Oh, there you go. This is probably a couple of different packs, honestly. This is a bag of random things. That could be sorted, but, you know, I think kind of fun. But these could definitely just be used as collage to cover this up by themselves. Okay, we got a couple things there. Backgrounds and collages. I have a little sayings bag. I have other things, other things. I think we have enough. These are stickers. Okay. I just kind of want to fill in a few places, like here needs some filling in. Maybe I want to rip the borders off of this. Maybe. Maybe I don't. Again, I'm just making, every time I tear something, it's like, oh look. Every time I tear something, I should be putting it on to the other end, right? Where I haven't covered. Let's put those over there. I'm just going to tear off a piece of this now to put kind of over here to fill in this space. And then I am going to, again, tear this, and maybe tear this in half again, maybe not quite in half, so I have a few pieces of it, and do it this way. And I am going to put these down and kind of continue to fill in all around the side where I haven't gotten to, so that I'm not just adding to my pile of scraps as I'm doing this. Or you could, there is some novel thought here, you could just throw these little tiny bits away. You could do that too. Or you can save them. Save the bits. I mean, these are like just little tiny. Honor them. Bring them back. Give them life again. They kind of match our stuff. I like the idea of using things. Using and not wasting things. Using it all up. Because, you know, I haven't bought enough stuff. I could probably not buy anything for a year and still have plenty of stuff. Right? Plenty of stuff to use. Okay. So I just got a new sewing machine that does all these decorative stitches, and I really like the idea right now of going back over this and doing some stitching over the just random decorative stitching. I have this sheet of all these beautiful, things that I can do, and that's just kind of some of the ones that I wanted to try right away. I'm just going to overlap that. This is very lovely, lovely, lovely. So I have a couple of things that I need to make ephemera for. I am making some little notebook folios that they're a folder and they need things to stick in the pockets, and I should really look at those because that's a very specific like paper pack that I bought. It's like a huge pack of paper. I don't know how many. It's like 200 sheets of double-sided 12 by 12 paper that I'm using to do that, and it's a very, very specific color scheme. And so I should look at that and try and use some of the colors that are in there. I don't know that this really goes well with the colors I have going on here, so I'm probably going to just leave this the way it is. I will put down this other map piece because in the interest of using up the things, we'll layer that on there. So we're not just creating more and more and more scraps. We want to use up what we've pulled out for sure. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get off of here and go find some lunch first. Time for a break and a snack. But this is this. You can continue to work on this. I will definitely continue to work on this. Keep going. Keep layering. Keep covering it. Keep making this an interesting piece, and then you will see this come back and find places to live in my books. I'm thinking right now that this is going to be really nice, kind of to go in my Maximal Mini journal for some tags and some pockets and things. Pockets for tags. But I think that's really pretty. I'm going to put this piece away and not use it. Oh, I pulled out some of these stickers and things. These I might wait and use later, more as like a... I'm going to keep these. I'm going to save these for later. You can put these on when we make ephemera out of this. Thanks for coming by today and visiting me here at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. I am super thrilled to have you while I'm using up my scraps and using up the things that I have. I appreciate your support, and I hope to see you next time. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share so that and comment and let me know what's going on in your creative moments. I hope you've gotten a chance to do something creative and fun today. Tell me what you think. Tell me something else you would like to see me do. And I will see you next time at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. Bye!